think it's really important for us to think about our capacity and what we can do to start initiatives within our community and things like that, because often when we are past a certain income bracket, we have more resources, not just money, but we are also able to have connections in business or whatever sector you are working in, that we are able to do a lot for the ummah and not just give out extra money that you may have. Because if we are continuing of this mentality, like just giving money, then we're not actually forwarding the next generation in the way that we want to. We're not cleaning up our own neighborhoods. We're not cleaning up the act. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, people who had more in their capacity would often ask, like, Prophet ﷺ, do you need any help? Is there anything we could do? There was this level of looking out for other people. I think that once we get to a certain level, laziness comes also in part. I think we need to start looking at more sustainable options in terms of where we're giving it. So obviously we can give to aid in other parts of the world, obviously, because that's large part of the ummah, and there are so many parts of the world that are suffering. And so I understand giving money to those regions. I'm not shaming that. I just also want to say that we are not making, like, for example, even just use something about raising children. For example, sending your kid to madrasa, like just sending them to madrasa because you in your capacity cannot do Islamic teaching, or back in the day, like a Quran teacher would come to your house and teach you, or you would go to somebody's house and they would teach you, because it's kind of like that mentality still lingers when it comes to other resources. Like when it comes to the leftover money we have, we just give it. And I understand that intention holds a weight, but it's also action, and you'll be questioned on your action as well as what you did for your friends, family, community, and we need to keep some sustainability going. And I find that a great example, and I always talk about Abdurrahman al-Sumait. I really truly always am so inspired by his work, because he was a doctor, and he had gone to Africa, and he had actually made a sustainable organization. I admire his work because he made it sustainable. It wasn't like just always providing. Aid is important, especially what's going on with the genocide. Aid is important, and aid is the only wiggle room in that situation where there isn't, like, what Abdurrahman did was, in Africa he had been able to set up create workplaces so they were able to earn an income, so it wasn't like they just got free stuff, and it was more sustainable. And he was able to convert so many Muslims because they were intrigued that they could keep their culture but also participate in working and participating in other sort of avenues. And it was just, it still lingers now. And I just wanted to talk about that. What is our capacity? Like, reflect on what our capacity truly is. Our physical body, who we have people in contact with. We can be the ummah where we don't have to keep outsourcing to everything. Like, I know that's the nature of how society is. Like, we Uber Eats and we outsource this and outsource that. Like, I know that's the direction, but we have to fight against that direction. So even thinking about Omar, may Allah be pleased with him being a Khalifa, he was able to start the child support policy, where children would get income, like people with children would get a certain amount of income. And it just reminded me that we often think that the government will handle the people who are homeless, and there's many resources out there for them. I do understand that. I think because a lot of this complacency and being lazy around giving in our capacity is because of the high quality governmental government things that are available to us. So I think, yes, Asma. And when we see like things like now, we're like, oh, the government will handle the homeless people, or the government will handle all these problems that there is, or oh, you could just apply for welfare. It's just like, yes. But we are Muslim, we're a strong ummah as we're supposed to be. So I understand that there's a nature of society that's resourceful. There's this part of society that is also like, we are fighting individualism, we are fighting consumerism, and there's just, it should not blend with the essence of checking in on marginalized people and